Dubai derives from an Arabic word meaning young locust. And according to some, this was once the region where the locusts laid their eggs. But nowadays, the buzz of the locust is giving way to the hustle and bustle of trade and commerce, thanks to the foresight of Dubai's dynamic ruler, His Highness Sheikh Rashid bin Zayed Al Maktoum. Natural creek, which for so long provided a sheltered harbor for local craft, proved inadequate for the larger vessels catering for Dubai's increasing need of foreign goods. Gradually, Port Rashid Deepwater Harbor was expanded to 37 berths to meet the demands of the shrewd businessmen of Dubai. Industrial development was His Highness's next goal, and in order to draw this development away from residential areas, the envisaged industrialization had to be located around the new port at Jebel Ali. The new port is located 40 kilometers southeast of Dubai, along a deserted stretch of beach, where the ships of the desert will be replaced by the ships of the sea. August 2nd, 1976, the official signing of the contracts, by which His Highness the ruler awarded the civil engineering work to the Mina Jebel Ali Construction Company and the dredging of approximately 120 million cubic meters to Gulf Cobra Private Limited. Director Tom van Huistee and Chairman Mr. Ahmed Bakr signed on behalf of Gulf Cobra. Was officially inaugurated by His Highness Said bin Sultan Al Nahyan, ruler of Abu Dhabi and President of the United Arab Emirates. His Highness opened proceedings by starting the pile driver, thrusting home the first sheet pile. And so the real work got underway. Detailed planning for the first stage of the project was required, and considerable engineering skill on the part of the contractors. Unofficially, work had already begun on the 21st of June 1976, with a cutter suction dredger Dubai Bay dredging its way in from the sea, while a section of the coastal dunes was removed by trucks and scrapers. Once a suitable protected area had been created, the dredger Port Harcourt was brought in to deal with the harder materials encountered further inland. While both dredgers were piling up the material on the beach to be used by the civil contractor for its quay construction, in Holland, contracts were signed with IHC Holland to build 4 cutter suction dredgers, 2,000 horsepower on the cutter, and with Shipyard van Rees for 2 booster stations to work in conjunction with the dredgers, and a 750 horsepower dredger.
Ik dank u Dera Bay en ik wens u behouden vaart.
On December 10th, 76, the Dera Bay was launched by Mrs. van der Hoof. From then on, everything went fast.
Christen you, Jebel Ali Bay. May you have a successful, long, and happy life.
On the 5th of May 1977, Mrs. Serena Bucker launched the first of the 4 heavy-duty cutter suction dredgers and named her Jebel Ali Bay. The day after, Mrs. Judy Lowry named and launched the Jumeirah Bay.
And all sail and work with you.
On the 22nd of July, Mrs. Anita Saleh named and launched the Maktoum Bay.
Rahim. In the name of God, I christen you Maktoum Bay. God bless you and those who works on you.
The last of the series was named Zabil Bay, launched by Mrs. Mary Hutchinson on the 7th of September.
God bless her and all who work with you.
After extensive trials and tests, the vessels were handed over to the owners, and together with auxiliary equipment built at other Dutch yards, brought to Dubai in 2 shipments. Of the approach channel extending some 20 kilometers out into the sea, a new type of cutter suction dredger was designed to work in the unprotected water and unpredictable weather conditions. The revolutionary, self-elevating walking cutter suction dredger was ordered from Mitsubishi, Japan, and named Al Bay by Mrs. Nelvan Housday on June 22, 1978. The sophisticated dredger worked in conjunction with 3 split-type hopper barges of 1,250 cubic meters each. These barges sailed from Holland to Dubai under their own steam. The operation, with all equipment on site, progressed as planned, and sections of completed areas, together with quay walls, were handed over in time. Total 120 million cubic meters to be dredged consisted of 10% sand, 10% caprock, 15% breccia of various degrees of hardness, and 65% sandstone. Most of the sand was to be stockpiled for use of backfilling behind quay walls. The sandstone was partly to be used for road-based construction, and most of the breccia for the offshore reclamation area. The vastly different types of material to be dredged required different dredging techniques, and for the breccia transportation in particular, optimum performance of the main dredge pump engines was required. To maintain a high performance, especially the cutter with its changeable cutter teeth had to be kept in good condition, which sometimes required 10 cutter teeth changes a day. The dredged material is then pumped through pipelines, in some cases aided by booster stations, to reach the maximum 5 kilometers delivery length towards the disposal grounds. Cutters are under constant repair. To cope with all the maintenance and constructional work, a well-equipped workshop has been set up. After an uneventful trip from Japan, the self-elevating walking cutter suction dredger arrived on site and was immediately put to work in the approach channel. The unit had been equipped with 4 pairs of legs, each pair consisting of a movable leg in a carriage and a fixed leg. Legs and carriages made it possible to lift the pontoons above the sea surface and move the unit forward. The dredged material was disposed of through chutes, loading the dynamically positioned self-propelled barges. The cutter ladder could swing from port side to starboard by means of side wires connected to self-elevating ground anchors. For a dredger that would have to work in adverse weather, these anchors, too, were specially designed to be shifted under the same conditions. For all personnel employed on the contract, accommodation had to be built. Married expatriates of the consultant, the civil contractors, and the dredging contractor were housed in Mina Jebel Ali village, comprising 300 bungalows, a swimming pool, clubs, a school, and medical facilities. Since most of the personnel were to stay for the duration of the contract, they had turned their living quarters into real homes.
Hier staat drinken voor jullie, hè? Zo. Sascha drinken. Daar.
Ja?
Ja.
Kom hier. Laat even kijken. Laat eens even kijken. Wat heb je erin? Laat eens kijken. Doe eens open.
Er staan boten.
Dat is een hier. Zeg maar niet. Ja, mooi zo. Laat eens kijken. Laat eens kijken. Haal het eens uit.
Alsjeblieft. Mooi.
For those who'd come out here without their families, there was a complete bachelor's camp with a first-class kitchen and a well-stocked bar.
Ja,